Hey everyone, Miacidae here. Welcome back to Warhammer 40k Rogue Trader. So we're in a little bit of a unique situation here where we are playing as Kibellah. And we really only have Kibellah. Technically we have the quote-unquote Steel Mistress and Flaming Voice. This is the Master at Arms Jocasta and the Ignis Master following us, but they're not playable characters right now. This is because Nemisite, if you remember a few episodes back, they kind of attacked a medical transport that was going to the lower decks. There was a bit of a hubbub about that where they were handing out medical stuff to the lower decks, but it was kind of being rationed out. I'm not sure the situation of why it was being rationed out, but it was a thing where like people could only get so many medical rations, and I'm not sure what the medical rations were, any of that, but people could only get so many, and there was an old woman who was like, hey, I have sick kids, and that many sick kids was above the medical ration limit, and they're like, for whatever reason, they weren't going to go give her the rations for the kids. They weren't going to check that she had sick kids and give her more medical rations. You just went, no, this is what you get, you have to use that. And when she held up the line for way longer than it was meant to be, preventing other people from getting these medical rations, Commandant ended up having her flogged, and that's when Nemisite shot the Commandant, and that ended up making a new Nemisite, which there's been like 5 in the past 2 years or some such, and now this new Nemisite has raided the reliquary of where all the, I believe it was the remains that had been transferred from the last attack where the cultists, with the gene stealers and such, because originally all those were in a reliquary, their own reliquary that was also sealed off. This new Nemisite just went and smashed and took all of the remains of all the past rogue traders and all their followers. So now we're playing as Kibellah because she's like, I can track this Nemisite, but if any of you follow me, you're too high profile. They'll know you, they'll run away. They don't know me, and then these two are like, well, we can disguise ourselves. We'll be of help.
Another threat.
And no, the consensus is no, they're not going to be of help. All the information she's saying is no, that's not going to be helpful. So that's kind of where we are. We're in the plasma drive sector where they think they're hiding. And the information is just like, hey, we're going to try to drive them out of hiding and get them. So we're hunting for a Nemisite again. So let's talk to some people. There's a guy named Whip right here. An old burn spread across her body in a scarlet blotch. A look of contempt. And yeah, this is how Kibellah evidently thinks. So this is what half the dialogue is going to be like. A heavy baton, covered in blood, symbolizing her boundless power. Like a fierce leather whip, she lashes with both her hand and her gaze. What are you looking at, you beggars? You finish your shift, you go to the barracks, you start your shift, you check in with the foreman, you get to work before Malta gives you a pat on the back. And Malta, I presume, is that wonderful, not too intimidating baton on your belt? I guess our disguise is working, but I would rather not spend the next 2 watches in medbay because of a misunderstanding. His breathing has quickened. Flame voice, as you can see, flame voice, always makes jests when he is nervous or irritated. Do enforcers infuriate him? Infernus Master Arms, apologizing for not recognizing you, ma'am. Goldira, we are conducting an inquest. Answer the spinner's questions. I hope your report will be useful. Let's try the awareness. Awareness succeeded with a 60%. Day after day, she watches serfs labor away, exhausting her last vestiges of strength, and there is no compassion in her eyes. They are simply a resource that she is commanded to use and then discard. She hates them because she is blamed for her pain, her wounds. Nothing is unimportant during the hunt. Tell me what you know, and I will listen. A group of workers wearing red scarves were seen in the compartment just after the attack on the shrine. The foreman stated that they were at work on the freight line, no gunpowder on their clothes, no fresh wounds. Too many of them have started wearing red masks. It muddles the trail. But we also found some red scarves and bloody rags on one of the shredders only shortly afterward. Okay. We sealed off the exits to reduce air supply to the maintenance tunnels to the absolute minimum. Now you can't stay in there longer than a few minutes without passing out. There's no way they could have left the plasma chambers. They're definitely in here somewhere. Like snakes, the servants of Nemisite have shed their skin. The red scarves is just a distraction, so they're not wearing the red scarves anymore. Let the enforcers converse. I will keep an eye on those around us. The workers hide their eyes, but I can hear the murmurs echoing through the bay. There is an impotent rage in their hearts directed at Whip, for she is embodiment of their very order they despise. But why do they not realize that she is an enforcer, that the enforcer is much as a shield as much as a lash? Some of the people I escorted to the other side looked at me the same way. In the past, I did not understand, but now, do the lay people see spinners performing their duty as the Undying One, or enforcers performing theirs to the domain as monsters? Do I sense the touch of his will? The Undying Emperor wishes to bestow a revelation upon me in this trying hour. Let his tarot show me the way. So I breathe in essence made from ashes and blood of the faithful. It enlightens the mind, granting the essence of reading his sign. Oh yay, we're doing things. Vision time. A wave of epiphany sweeps over my thoughts, pulling me away. Pulling me into a blessed trance, my fingers move of their own accord over the sacred deck and drawing a card. I didn't realize that she had the tarot. I thought that was something only the vizier could use. It is the martyr. I see a tear of blood wash over the pale features of the image and they shift, becoming Whip's face. A portent from him, the Undying One blesses me to take Whip, the minion's fear of Nemisite from her. Fear her. When her soul is delivered to the Undying One, the traitors will feel invulnerable. They will crawl out from their holes and fall into my web. I know how Whip's thread will end. I cannot sever Whip's thread with a blade, for the serfs would recognize me as one of the spinners and lose all courage. But the spark of the machine spirits in the plasma drives has already claimed the lives of many. I will use this, and thus the whip will be spun. So we need to get rid of Whip, is what it's saying. I'm not sure how I feel about that one.
Follow my steps.
And that's just a dead end. The door doesn't open. A reservoir of technical fluid, if it leaks, the power of the conductive charge will spread across the floor. Set up a trap. A cable thrumming with power of conductive charge. A single swing of the blade will send the enforcer's soul to the Undying One. So do I need to do that when Whip is here? On the fluid?
There is only death. Yours or mine.
No, she's just gonna come here. Okay. Come on, guys.
Walks with me.
And she just saw that or didn't pay attention and walked into that. Lovely. And just like that, she's gone. She will never even know what she died for. Meanwhile, the spinners go on passing judgment whenever they please. Alright, is there anyone else named in here?
No sleep, no rest. Only duty, only death.
Oh, we saw goods right here, I think. Heed those words. So there's an engine seer here. Just cargo. Reactor attendant, can't talk to him, but maybe the attendant over here. No, I don't think we can talk to the technomats either. Oh, Hammer. I see you lot have taken off your red scarves. You no longer feel like playing Nemisite, do you? Cut on a shadow and heed the voice of the crowd. These lay people have huddled together like a herd being chased by predators. Faded gazes, bent backs, crimson kisses of batons on their bodies, and yet the shadow of smiles touch their dirty, burnt lips like a strange pair. Like hammer and anvil send sparks in the air through words. What are these two talking about? Hammer and anvil. And then the lover smacked you right in the kisser. Ha! Give or take a tooth, this is nothing. Bruises, burns, cuts. That's just life. Just remind yourself of how you came home after the shift, having exchanged your ration card for a bowl of soup. How your little ones gulp that bowl down, how they fall asleep, feeling a little better. I say that's worth a hard day's work and a punch in the face. Really? He smiles broad-shouldered with a rusty beard. He's not afraid to share the laughter with the others, and so the crimson shades from his beatings never leave his face. His voice bright and sonorous and listened to. Anvil. Not everyone here is as chipper and thick-skinned as you. A bowl of soup is great, he says, but what about having to choose between which of your 3 kids gets it? Is that great too? Beatings are nothing, he says. Remember when the enforcers broke your arm? Since you couldn't work, your wife had to pull 3 shifts. She collapsed at the lathe and the conductive charge burned out her eyes. None of us deserve that. Tough and unyielding, every word hurt, but she is forgiven for her sincerity. They listen to her pull themselves together to share their common pain. See if anyone's fallen into the web. You heard the news? The lieutenant got fried on the wires. A brutal end for a brutal woman. That's called justice. For every broken bone, for every gob of spit in our faces, good bloody riddance. Yes, just as long as they don't pin her death on any of us. The frightened herd sways, the humming of whispers in their eyes. Fires of anxiety flicker, careless and suggestible people. Okay. So that's where we kind of check in on them. Emergency repair worker? That's just another part where I can listen in on them.
Follow the threads.
Oh, Stain. I think I can get info out of him. Especially if I threaten him. Long time no see, Spindle. Tell me, what does silence taste like? Are they using secret code? Without flaming voice, he would never even speak to me. Everybody knows silence doesn't taste like everything. If you want to earn rations, you better start dealing in words. He speaks casually, but his voice is slimy and slippery. His eyes are as dirty as oil-stained garment. The impudence in his gaze and words when he turns around to him. He is unclean, and he knows it. He is unrepentant. That's a funny look, Heinrich. And you have funny-looking companion. Are you here to buy or sell or buy? And before you answer, remember the first rule. Every word has a price. Are we bargaining for information with this lowlife? No. It's the duty of every serf to aid the rogue trader and his associates, freely and willingly. Oh boy, here it comes. Who's that with you? An enforcer and a spinner? Do you want me dead? If anyone sees me talking to you, they'll snap my neck, so off you go. Medicae, the crawling stimulant on the needle's tip will loosen his tongue. What's this feeling? So calm. So I just stabbed him with something, I'm assuming, to make him talk. Fine, ask whatever you want, but then leave. My reputation cost me a lot of blood, and I didn't earn it to have it trampled into dust because you people happened to stop by. Where do things stand in the plasma chambers? Speak briefly and speak sense. We just had an enforcer die. She did it to herself. Stepped right on a wire and riled up the machine spirits. You lot be careful now. There's a bunch of workers in the far corner, gather every shift, whispering between each other. They don't invite me. They say I talk too much. Well, if they're scared of my tongue, it means they have something to hide. And of course, everyone's talking about Nemisite. Sure, the foundry and the chapel were big, but he's been helping people all over. A lot of folks are sticking with him now. You can knock my teeth out if I'm lying. Don't get too many of those left anyhow, but I'll tell you this. If someone finds him, they won't rat him out. One glance is enough to tell his true self, though. He's a liar and a manipulator, peddling other people's secrets and not knowing how much to keep his mouth shut. He'll become the bait, sowing confusion among the minions of Nemisite who hope to wait the lockdown. They think they have enough time? No. So set up the snare. There will be a raid soon. Be careful. I warn you in appreciation for your cooperative nature. What are you? That information is not meant for his ears. Really? I see. Well, if that's all you wanted, can I go? Go, Stain. Be my herald. It's difficult to admit, but I do share the Master Arm's indignation. We came here to get information about the traitors, not to reveal our secrets. If we reveal the truth to the enemies, they will harm themselves with it. I just hope this wisdom of the blood-spun web won't hurt us. Well, here's hoping. Alright, reactor attendants, servitor. There's one more thing to do here, isn't there? Identify his accomplice is among the, okay. Oh, we can loot her?
Aim for the heart next time.
Shock baton. So I'm assuming that's gonna be in this big crowd over here. You look different. What about the engines here? Can I talk to you?
The web beckons.
Can I talk to any of the technomats? Repair worker. What about if I just shadow the crowd right here? Is there anything new? Your plan appears to have worked, Spinner. The air itself is charged with something different. It's not the conductive charge. The surfs are stirring. Listen to the rapid beating of hearts. The lay people are frightened, angry. They feel the impunity that is sprouted like a weed upon the whip's demise. They feel the threat crushing them from the upper decks, both imminent and inevitable. What are those two talking about? Hammer and anvil. The enforcer is dead, and the punishers from the upper decks will soon follow Nemisite's trail. This is our chance. We need to act. This is it. I can feel that the prey is close. They have little fear of giving themselves away anymore. They need a spark to ignite the flame, something that will convince Nemisite's followers that they are strong and the Doman's servants are diminished. So wait for the right moment, then light the spark. They tell us this is how it's meant to be, just because they were born on the upper decks and we're down below in the darkness. Is it really God's emperor will that they grow fat on our fruits of our labors, revel in luxury while we die without water or medicine? Hammer's voice rumbles. Then lay people listen. Their hands clench into fists. No matter how hard you work, they will wring everything out of you and give you nothing. Who allowed this to happen? The rogue trader. His name be damned. A Grox on the throne, a tyrant throwing our bones into the furnace of his protectorate. Oh, dude, really? You screwed everything up. Shut your mouth, foul dog. Flaming voice. No, it's too soon. I understood your anger, but you must temper it. What did you say about the Lord, Captain? The one who gives you work, food, and shelter, you insolent deadbeats. I can see why you've gathered here, and will not let you start another rebellion. Why are you reaching for your Voxcaster? If you do not disperse, I will give the order to vent the plasma chambers. You have 5 seconds. 4. The tyrant's lackey. If you do this, you'll die with us, madman. To protect the Lord Captain and the crew? I see you have never met an Infernus before. Their faces are twisted with fear. Will they retreat? Will they flee? Will the hunt be thwarted? No. And she immediately knifes someone, I think. A small throwing blade flies out from my palm and draws a scarlet line across Anvil's neck. If I had wished it, she would be dead. But she continues to breathe and bleed, and to scream furiously as she looks at me. The rogue trader's assassins are here. Look, they wanted to kill me. Find the assassins. The spark is lit. Well, we did it. The lay people press in from all... Losing my voice. Allergies. Becoming winter and I'm losing my voice to allergies. Does no sense make. The lay people press in from all sides, pushing and shoving. Their faces are ablaze with terror and rage. A violent energy boils through the masses of the bodies. This power will be difficult to contain. Frightened people are dangerous people. The hunt was meant to go differently, but such as the Undying One's will. She thinks very quickly and very differently. Furnace. One voice rises above the others. A voice of a burly, bearded technomat. The low roar of the furnace. Furnace smells of sweat and sacred dungeons. He is not afraid, he merely pretends to be. Beneath the shudder of terror, I hear excitement. Do we deserve to be executed, my brothers and sisters? Have we not labored with the sweat of our brow? Have we not perished from the outbursts of raging machine spirits? Why do they call us rebels? Why are we being punished? Furnace's words make the crowd seethe even more. Let's just take a look at Furnace for now. Furnace. Strong, heavy, enormous hands whose blows should be feared. A great belly that has become a symbol of his success. He does not starve. So those who follow him will not starve either. A powerful leader, recognized by the whole pack. So feel the flowing rage of those poor wretches. The flame burns high, for there is strong fuel at its heart. These people have amassed many grievances. Their enforcers are cruel to them, for they believe that fear eradicates treason. The officers despise them, for their clothes and hands are filthy. Their quartermasters rob them and withhold them what is owed to them, for their clan is not strong enough to make demands. They are vulnerable. Their hearts are vulnerable. The Undying One commands us to spin a web and catch such hearts before they plunge into the abyss of treason, and so I am spinning the web. But there is something else mixed into their righteous indignation, something that taunts them, excites them, angers them. It is foul, hovering in the air, aberration. Let's just remain silent for now. The crowd draws nearer, and Furnace shouts at the top of his lungs, "Do you hear? They have nothing to say. Even they know we are right. Which of you was it that dared call the Lord Captain's judgment unfair? I demand to see the accuser." They grow still, as though a sheet of ice had formed in the roiling surface of water tank. No one dares to be the one whose name is spoken. No one dares leave the crowd and lose the protection of anonymity. Why are you surprised? Have the officers ever treated us otherwise? A new voice, sandpaper rough, tears through the rumbling of the crowd, its owner ragged and filthy. A feverish gleam burns in his eyes. His words inflame the people's minds, like rot feasting upon a wound. His rot cries out mockingly, "That's because you're afraid of them, but they're not afraid of you. They have the almighty baton. All you have is a source of power that feeds this whole ship. Why shouldn't they take you for granted? It serves you right, you cowards." His ugly shriek spills like venom upon the sweating faces as they slowly draw closer and closer. What's the smell hanging in the crowd? I take a deep breath, and something stupefying, noxious, and luscious disturbs my senses. It's no ordinary odor, but something subtle and foul, carries the same stench as rot. Skinny and scrawny, Rot leers at me with his gaping mouth. He is a nobody who has nothing. His body is wasted away from disease. His hands are 5 fingers short. His fate is sealed, and that makes him convincing. Everyone knows he has nothing to gain for himself, and thus no reason to lie. His poverty is his armor. What happens if we think about the Doman? I address the one who commands these people and possess the authority to execute and pardon. Am I to hear his thoughts? That didn't change any of the dialogue. We haven't revealed Nemisite yet. Oh wait, it does change this one. The Doman takes care of all, for such is his burden, but he cannot save everyone. He only cares about his flunkies. Bile spraying from the rot's mouth sizzles in the worker's mind like acid. It is burning through them. We will not commit rebellion, but we will not allow ourselves to be slaughtered by villains either. The law of the Emperor are on our side. The law and the Emperor are on our side. A young woman steps forth, slender and supple like a rapier. If they want to crush us with the fear of death, then let us kill us. It will only prove our righteousness. The ringing call of command pressing itself into their hearts. The foul stench of sacrilege almost knocks me off my feet. Sense the fetid stench of blasphemy. The tantalizing, almost elusive sense of rage. It's more than a stench, it is a tool. The weapon of the despicable trio which they use to influence the minds of the laity. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce that one. Laity? Something like that. Not even sure what it is. Invisibly intoxicating their minds. The crowd reeks of flowering treason. I delve down to its roots and realize what rejects his will, so his sacred privilege is being attacked. He alone chooses who may journey to him, but these three instigators, they are determined to make the decision for themselves, dragging the souls of all around into the fires of violence with them. They are impudent upstarts who have put themselves above him, and above me, the second spinner of the bloodspun web. Above his chosen servant, the realization of such audacity burns in my soul. Look her in the eye. She is fragile, but there is a strength in her, an authority, taken for granted and understood by everyone. She is clearly ready to command, with legions willing to die for such maidens. Beauty and resolute as they are, she carries no banner in her hand, for she herself is the banner. Well, if she's the banner, let's use a throwing knife on her. Take an idle swipe at her face. Seal your lips, heretic. Faced with the blade, all the strength and authority have been erased from her features. The crowd looks at horror at the one who, just moments ago, had been willing to die for. They now see how easily her power was overthrown, and they are seized with fear. At last I perceived a glint of understanding and willingness to listen on their pale faces. I point to furnace, rot, and rapier, and I know that no words are necessary as the crowd speaks for me. Traitors. A hoarse shriek arrives above their heads. Strike down the heretics. Within moments, the raging mob begins tearing, punching, and trampling the three sedationists, reducing them to nothing but a mass of flesh and bone. This is wrong. I need them alive. Stop the mob, Justice. The crowd is too enraged, stunned by their fury. Fists rise and fall each time, with more and more blood on them. So we're back. Montag, assist me. My words are drowned out by the bellowing of the men looking to kill. I look to those who volunteered to assist me, and they are nowhere to be found. Everything ends quickly and bloodily. The delicate flesh cannot withstand the rage of those who have realized they were almost sent to their execution. Well, we might have gotten rid of Nemisite. It did not go the way I had planned. The smell of blood lingers in the air like a stench of the impending defeat. 3 broken bodies lie before me. The crowd tore them apart, squeezed the life out of them, and rendered them useless. Well, what can the corpses reveal? I'm kind of surprised I got the 60% again. Very little. Faint traces of vile mutations that twisted their bodies, foul stench of corruption emanating from their meat, the deformed, strangely colored brains that crushed in their crushed skulls that spawned a heresy of sedation. Are those two still alive? Flaming Voice, Steel Mistress? Their threads have not yet cut, and I realize with astonishment that they are standing close to me. Flaming Voice is furiously reproaching all who had only just recently joined the revolt, while Steel Mistress booms like a siren, shaking her maul and threatening punishment. They are now useless to the hunt. What will the appearance of the survivors tell me? They huddle in the corners, terrified of my blood dance. They no longer think of the rebellion, only keenness of my blades. So, it's time for the next step. A thrill runs through the strands of my consciousness. Is this Dolmen? Can I truly feel him again, or am I imagining it? I need to concentrate, gaze at puddles of blood on the patterns they form. I see a labyrinth. The Undying One has given me a sign. This lady is crazy. This lady is absolutely bonkers. My hand finds the sealed case in which his tarot cards reside. It is time for a divination in blood of the dead. It will reveal their name of the unholy master. Do we need to draw all 3, or should we just draw 1? Let's draw the heart. The Harlequin, inverted, lies, manipulation, a shadow play blocking my path. But a lie is exposed. Deception must be revealed. How about the beginning? A hound. I gaze at the card and its depiction of the Astra Militarium, an armored vehicle that bears a formidable name. The pursuit of truth, sacrifice, and victory. That is me. I am on the right track. And the end of the spread. The preacher, a man who carries an idea and proclaims it. But who is it? Nemisite or one of his supporters? Someone already slain or someone still alive? The divination is unclear. And so I draw a 4th card. Is it dangerous to ask more of the Undying One? But I must know. The Aquila. His image watches me from within the card, and and my heart grows frigid with the knowledge of what it represents. The Undying One has manifested his omen in the traitor's blood. The hunt that has begun will be completed by unveiling the great deception. Our enemy is elusive because he has a powerful ally, one who exposes faith in the Emperor on this vessel. The ship's Confessor is in league with Nemisite. He will be the next prey. Oh boy, the Confessor. He hasn't been here, like, a part of anything, really, since he introduced himself, has he? So this is going to be a fun little visit. Oh, I get to interrogate him myself? Is that the end of, being Kibellah? That was a fun little side story quest. I always get so turned around in here. But I guess that's all we needed to be a Kibellah for, so that does make sense. Hi, Captain. Yeah, hi, everyone. Danrock, you doing okay? I thought you were at the Cherugian. I love that this is already a thing. Have you recovered from Nemisite's attack? You came very close to death, dude. The Cherugians spent hours fighting for my life, and I have to say, they're earning their keep. They promised to leave a heroic-looking scar, though. Admittedly, I prefer calluses from the autoquill. Dude, are you sure you're okay? You can take some time off. You're standing when, like, literally hours ago, you were on death's door. Okay. Okay, you do you. You do you. So we need to go, I believe, to another compartment. I don't think it's the Astropathic Chapel, right? A divination using the Emperor's Tarot and spilt blood over the flesh. Betrayers have been pointed at a man close to Nemisite, the traitor Adalbert, the ship's Confessor. So go to the shrine. Oh, it is a thing. I've just never been to the shrine. Gotcha. Hiya, Adalbert. How you doing, buddy? I heard this was done by you. Hey, Sourback's joining me. Where's, the other dude? Kibellah extends a finger topped with metal claw towards the Confessor. The divination has revealed that you stand beside the enemy Nemisite. Speak only the truth before the Doman and the Undying One. Adalbert meets Kibellah's words calmly, almost with majestic resignation. A defender of the people and a tyrant's minion are two faithful servants of opposing ideas. Two souls that have rejected everything else for the sake of duty. I now truly see that your collusion with him was inevitable. Adalbert shifts his gaze towards you and lets out a mournful sigh. I was warned about your visit, Miacidae, as well as its purpose. And who alerted you? My son, the protector of those whose blood you feed on, whose hard work has paid for your content life on the upper decks of this ship. Really now. So I demand an explanation. Your pet tormentor who extols death is right. I know Nemisite. I assist him. Just like him, I am your enemy. Adalbert raises his voice in a soft tenor. You hear notes of accusation as deep as rolling thunder. And I am also the enemy of your cruel regime. Where life is dirt under the Enforcer's feet. Where a man has nothing to eat. Writhes in fear and knows no hope. So, dude, if you've paid attention this entire time, I've been trying to change things on this ship. I've been giving people more food. I've been giving people more medicine. I've been stopping the Enforcer's beatings. You could have just talked to me. You could have just talked to me and we could have made things better. We could have shipped more medicine to the needy. So we're back. You treasonous impostor, to think that I listened to your sermons and was anointed by your hand. You will choke on your words along with the teeth that I'm about to knock out. You know, I'm very back and forth on Sourback. I love some of her insults and, like, threats. And you're not even trying to lie. That's commendable. He shrugs. Why would I? If the dogs have come looking for blood, they will not leave without a kill. Such is your vicious nature. I just wanted answers, and you're the one who came for blood first. Let's be very clear about that. You came for blood first. I see. I doubt it. People like you will only ever see what they want to see. So do you serve Nemisite, or do you command him? I follow him as he once followed me. Nemisite is my son. If not by blood, then in spirit. I took him in as a willful child, and I fostered the best in him. A passion for justice, the indomitable flame of a fighter, unyielding determination. I've been preparing him for years. You have raised an instrument that serves a purpose without question. She speaks cautiously, as if not entirely sure of her judgment. Such is his purpose, to be the hope, to break shackles, to end the centuries of torment that have passed aboard the ship. A great sacrifice for a great cause. You should be familiar with his ways, except that instead of a sower of freedom, you were raised to be an executioner's sword. So what else were you lying about? One last confession, why not? I'm not Adalbert. That was the name of an initiate from a clan of confessors who passed away from disease many years ago. I was born in squalor on the lower decks, and at the behest of... He falters, as if he wants to add something else. And it was by the Emperor's command that I took Adalbert's place through deception. Pretending to be him, the dead man had inherited much influence and by many thrones from his clan, which hastened my successful rise to the ranks. It was not for wealth or power that I did this. I accepted the burden of hard work to the Emperor and for the common people, to pave the way for liberation from the oppression and injustice. And my part is almost done. So what happens when I die? Because this ship hardly functions without me. You'll just be floating in space, and eventually you're gonna run out of food. You do know that, right? I don't think half these people know how the ship runs. Kibellah whispers to you. I sense no lie in his voice or bearing, Doman. He feels and welcomes death with open arms. The moment favors us. We must learn more. He who betrays his oaths will not deliver Nemisite to us, but from his words we may divine knowledge of our enemy. So Nemisite is just... Are you hoping he'll save you now? No, we decided otherwise. I am not worth him risking his life, so do not expect to capture him through me. My son has no attachments, for they would only make him weak. He will gladly sacrifice himself for his dream of liberty and equality, and I must do the same. I only grieve that, thanks to your efforts, I cannot be near my son and erase his burden. Attachments make us weak. You made a weapon out of him, just like he made a weapon out of you. So how did your deceptions go unnoticed? You were not there for the years of pestilence. Confessors attended every deck and died in multitudes. New ministers were recruited in every port, at every stations, their names and faces blurred together, and we recognize our kin only by their robes. No one that knew Adalbert's true face survived the time. The Emperor saved me from being exposed. So your liberation is rooted in betrayal and bloodshed? This is war. The war for our liberation. And we are willing to die and kill for it, because our enemy is brutal and deaf to our pleas. You have deserved it. I've been trying to fix the ship, dude. Have you not seen any of this? Or are you just too, already rooted in this? You could have helped change this ship. But no. So Beck reacts to his gesture with due suspicion, sharply gripping her weapon, prepared to eliminate any threat to you. So Nemisite's just a man. Excellent. It's harder to kill a legend. The words of a tyrant inebriated with power and impunity. Nemisite's an idea, and you have the arrogance to believe that you can kill a man idea made flesh. It's better this way, so keep underestimating it. Alright, well, any last words? The shackles will fall. There will be nothing left of your tyranny, nor you. Well, to separate a family would be cruel. Still, you'll see your students soon enough. You seem to have mistaken my humility in the face of death for submission. It is not for you to decide my fate. I will make the choice myself. I surrender the life in the fight for our future. I will die, but I will take you with me. He clicks his fingers and the initiates who have been standing humbly around turn to your direction, the white robes opening to reveal a variety of weapons. Really? So he's brainwashed everyone here to, like, attack me. Or maybe not brainwashed, but, like, convinced the entire clergy? That's interesting. For Nemisite, brothers and sisters, for freedom. Lord Captain, this is an ambush. They have been waiting. He has a grenade. Protect the Lord Captain. And Jocasta's down. Only one grenade, though.
Your struggle amuses me.
And we've been ambushed, so we keep... Were we really ambushed? I was kind of expecting that. How were you hiding that maul in those robes, or did you just take it off the table? I'd say she just took it off the table, personally, but... This person here, though, how are you hiding that maul? It's bigger than you. Alright, so Cassia. We can get into double cover right here.
Navigator is coming.
We're going to put a kill zone on Confessor Adalbert. That way he can't parry as much, and he takes more damage with the front line. I want backline cover efficiency on Cassia here.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
I want rear, probably right here.
I'm a navigator.
And that's
not a servitor.
crit rate, not crit damage, yeah. So I'm going to move the main character back here as well. But Argenta has that. I'm going to voice a command, Argenta.
I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
I'm going to Air of Authority her, so she gets an extra AP.
If you insist, Lord Captain.
And then we're going to bring it down on her.
If I may.
So she has 3 AP right now. It's going to take 2 to use Controlled Burst. Before I do that, and forget again, Furious Recital for the extra damage. We're going to use Confident Approach for the extra, or just guaranteed crit.
Not.
I was really hoping I could just Controlled Burst into the guy right there. But instead, let's take out the Rebel Fighter right here. Was 93 health, but this is 8 shots into him.
Strike is a prayer.
We can then run and gun. Kind of get into the cover right here.
Through me, be the fire in my heart.
And we're going to take out this Insurgent. That way we don't get into, like, melee combat there. And that's going to end her turn. We have 4 versatility. Argenta goes again. As much as I would love to lay into Adalbert, I'm going to get rid of the sniper here. So first, we're going to Revel and Slaughter. That's going to give her extra crit damage. We're going to Concentrated Fire. So minus dodge reduction, plus damage on this hit. And we're going to pop the Sharpshooter. Sharpshooter down, no sniper at me. Then, from here...
That is not the Emperor's will.
How many people can I pop? A lot. Okay. So we're gonna pop Firearm Mastery here.
I stand, and thy light I crave.
Oh, there's an Initiate here that's named... Oh well. Insurgent over here goes away.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Extra zeal. Thank you. Gonna get the rebel fighter way in the back.
Emperor.
Just continue getting him down.
As the Emperor commands, I act.
I'm curious. Why is it showing a second 36 somewhere? It might have just been the way it was showing something there. Then I can get Initiate Zek. Because if I can hit Adalbert, we can get him bleeding. And then we'll go for Zek back here.
As the Emperor commands, I
Zeke.
You, my Emperor.
And I was thinking, if I do run and gun, where could I go? Because this would give me how much movement? 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and from here I could not, because this is full cover, so I probably couldn't hit anyone back here, and that's 3. I might be able to hit the rebel fighter back there though. So let's do a run and gun. I was kind of hoping that would change angles here on what I could hit. No, it does not. Unfortunate. I cannot hit anyone else. But I suppose for now we can move up to here, so later we can get to these guys. And just keep going at Zeke. I'm kind of sad that the bleeding here doesn't stack. Cause what is it? The wearer's range attacks inflict 9 levels of bleeding on the target. With this backpack,
I'll do it.
you'd think that if I was able to do this and do multiple shots in a round at someone,
Faith without
or the
deeds is
burst from this,
I
it
was
would
chosen.
stack potentially.
I'll do it.
But then there's one. Actually, should have left him alive for the bounty hunter, but that's fine. But yeah, you'd think if I'm hitting someone with multiple shots, that 9 bleed would stack up
I was chosen.
because of how that's worded, but I guess not. Flamer?
Fear nothing.
Yep. Okay, Kibellah. So here's the problem with her. I just need her to get into melee combat, and I'd prefer her taking out the smaller targets here. But realistically, that ain't gonna happen. Why does she only have knife? Her big sword got changed out for a knife. I'm sad. We'll dual wield then. And go up to the Confessor at Adalbert here. Let's blade dance him. Oh, he has some shenanigans going on. Fiery Vow? What is Fiery Vow? You'd think that if I look up Fiery Vow, it would tell me what Fiery Vow is, not that he inflicts Fiery Vow on all of his allies. This creature's attacks deal additional fire damage equal to the damage of their attacks. Holy hell. If he had a shield, it's gone. Okay, so because of her talent, I think I hit with both swords now. So let's do Killing Edge for the extra 21 damage here.
No, I cannot.
Oh, and then I can just hit with my offhand. There we go. Because I had taken the dual wielding proficiency or talent or whatever with her. I should have used aim for the opening to get something on his back. Or just move the opening from his back. I just haven't used her in a while. Death Whisper. That's going to be 0 AP. Let's see here. I also forgot to use this. But then we can use, yeah, Death Whisper, get him bleeding for more. How much is he actually bleeding for? So he's hemorrhaged. This is permanently deals lethality divided by 10 rending damage. We had 111 lethality, so that's probably going to do 11 damage. Bloodstained. And he's just bleeding for 9. Okay. Let's then deal death from above. Just to do a little extra damage to him. And I think that'll be it for her turn.
We bring deliverance.
Well, if I go here, that's not going to work. Can't hit who I want. That would get me through 2 things of flame, so I might be taking a lot of damage here. I'll still risk it.
Ravage and conquer.
Alright, so you are a tier 2. You are a tier 2. Gotcha. Okay. So I have 5 AP. We are going to hunt down prey because I can make that an instant critical hit. Why can't I hit you? I'm very confused. You'd think I would be able to pop out to the side and hit this guy right here. Because I would be popping out right here and shooting right there. Huh? Is this a glitch? Like, why can I not hit that rebel fighter? I'm so confused. It might be because technically this full cover's in the way. So anyway, I can do 33 damage before a crit. So let's analyze the guy right here. I do a piercing shot. I do 64 before a crit. Precise attack. That way he doesn't get as much cover efficiency. Gonna mark him as prey. That way I can crit him. He's down. Claim the target. Claim the bounty. I thought that would take him down, but it didn't. And we'll be good with that for now. I'm so confused at why I couldn't target this guy, but I guess he wasn't that big of a deal.
The sire's song guides me.
Kind of funny that Adalbert hardly was affected. He is going to charge.
At your beck and call.
I targeted the wrong person. He's actually going to go to the other side of the Confessor here.
Indeed.
Bonk. Defensive stance. Taunting scream so that Adalbert hits him.
It will be done.
We're going to get the temporary HP on him so he's fine, and brace for impact. You know, come to think of it, this is like the 4th person in my crew that was like maybe 5th of like the major people that are like had major stations that had a quest for me, because the navigator, I needed to go get in a quest, and then had a quest for me. There's this guy. There's the helmsman, who more or less had a quest, didn't he? The technomat had a quest for me and ongoing stuff on board. Jocasta is more or less like in everything, and she was aboard the meeting. The Voxcaster is constantly going, hey, you need to take care of this now. And I believe she had part of a quest. Dan Rock had some urgent stuff to take care of.
Suffering is part of the trial.
Alright, can we blinding strike right here? No, we cannot. So first, what... Oh, that's not going to work how I want it to. So what I want to do... is not going to work. The amount of shenanigans I want to do is not going to work. We can still try it. I'm going to move him here. Pascal, can you shoot the insurgent over there? Oh, that's right. I changed you to the Meltagun. That's why. Should we try the Meltagun? And then can I use Bird over here instead? I could. So let's use the Meltagun. I accidentally hit space. Shoot. Can you give Pascal a turn? I kind of want to do this now.
Cross my gaze. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
So let's do the area attack on these guys. So it's only a 30% chance to hit unless I do the area. But it would annihilate these two. Oh, no line of sight. What? There we go. Meltagun melting them. And then I have 2, so what we can do is blinding attack. I thought that would work. How about strafe? Through those 2. And those 2 are down. Then I doubt because of range I can go over here. Yeah. Well, then we can do joint analysis and end his turn. Then main character gets some extra stats if I can find him back.
I'm not a accustomed to being ordered around. Me? If you insist, Lord Captain.
We'll also do Glimpse of Fate for the
For the serfs?
tests, especially that resistance test. And then take aim on Argenta. Speaking of which, Revel and Slaughter. Controlled shot. For the funsies, we'll do Concentrated Fire.
This is unacceptable.
Hey, Adalbert. Okay, 77. Is there a better? Nah. 77.
The Emperor commands.
Oh, Prometheum leak. He went kaboom. Good thing they dodged that. And that's that for him.
Offering of blood.
I think I can get Kibellah over there.
I will leave footprints of scarlet.
So if I do Death Waltz.
This goes against the tenets.
No, too far, too far. None of her abilities would work. This is where the shotgun would have come in handy for her.
Believers will inherit all.
My resolve.
Okay, main character.
Shaken.
Bounty on Rebel Fighter.
Triumphs.
Analyze on Rebel Fighter. If we just pop them, they probably go down. Or not. Claim bounty on them.
Ruin beckons.
Dismantling attack on Insurgent, and that's the fight.
Guide my hand.
Well. Why is this guy like all... Whoa, what's happening here? Beam of light. Is this one of the insurgents there then? The battle is over. Silence descends once again upon the chapel. Flakes of ash whirl quietly in the air before coming to rest on the blood trickling slowly across the floor. You ought to see this, Stolman. Kibellah leans over the Confessor's body and slices off the edge of his collar with her blade, revealing a tiny scar on the back of his neck. It looks like the one the captured worker in the plasma drive chamber had, except for this one had clearly healed a long time ago. So he was connected to the genetic aberration as well. Delightful. We now know much more about the enemy. Just how deep the poison of the conspiracy runs with the veins of your ship. But the blood-spun web has wrapped itself around its base too tightly. The Nemisite can no longer hope to escape. Lord Captain, we have a prisoner. Permission to finish off the cur. She points her weapon at a man standing hunched over in pain. Down with the tyrant. Oh, that's Initiate Zeke. He lived. The broad-shouldered initiate who calls himself Zeke clutches a deep wound, glaring at you with hatred. No. I have questions for you, Zeke. I doubt you'll like the answers. Why were you serving the Nemisite? For his cause or for money? He promised us freedom. Well, you could have had freedom if you just worked for me, dude. Like, I was trying to make everything better. Are there other senior officers helping you? Officers? No, there's no one among them who is pure. They only care about power and gorging themselves on the scraps you throw them, or else they would have long since turned against you. He can barely finish his sentence before he is beset by a torrent of gurgling coughs. Fun. Where is the hideout? Even the Confessor didn't know where it is. He was afraid of spies, or giving his son's secrets away under torture, you see. You can't get to our champion. Then how many of you mutineers are hiding on my ship? I want names. I want to know where you meet. I want everything. The Confessor said every compartment has people who fight for our cause. They promised to take me into the circle of our most devoted believers. Then I would know, but then I wouldn't tell you nothing, not even under torture. Well then, Jocasta, you do you. Initiate looks only at you sullenly. They were waiting for us. It was a trap. Yes, Lord Captain. Ethelbert had been warned, yet he had chosen not to flee. Instead, he had stayed behind to set us trap. Did he really believe this madness would succeed and he'd survive somehow? He did not want to survive. His only hope was to kill. Nemisite managed to turn his adoptive father into a blade pointed squarely at the Doman's throat. Just as Adalbert himself had once turned Nemisite into a weapon, neither of them feared death. That devious, mind-twisting beast. I have been going through my predecessor's archive recently, and I may have an idea of what manner of creature this Nemisite is. We are dealing with a Kellermorph? I wish it would have told us what this is. A special variety of mutant filth in service of genetic cults. So kind of, once again, with the whole gene stealers that we were dealing with before, maybe. These creatures are made and raised to play the part of people's leader, inspiration for the mutinous rabble. A Kellermorph's purpose is to sow disorder and use the rebellions to eliminate the ruling elite. Those who might be capable of opposing the Xenos. So, let's decide what to deal with the traitor. Do not kill him in vain. Those who follow the tenets of the web know that, just as we serve death, so does it serve us. Allow the death of this man to become an instrument in your hands, Doman. Pass off the traitor's body as that of Nemisite, and instill fear in his supporters. The enemy will be forced to act to undo this deception, exposing himself in the process. Well, that's a good idea. We'll make certain that the lower decks believe their hero to be dead. We will leave the body to hang for a good long while, that the hope of the mutineers may rot along with the corpse. It's still doing that whole light thing. It took you 2 hits with that thing to bring him down. That's one traitor dealt with, Lord Captain, but how many more have been poisoned by the false Confessor's heresy? A new spiritual shepherd must be appointed to quickly banish any mutineers' thoughts sown by the traitor from their minds and of the crew, and to strengthen the faith and obedience without ship's Confessor. Rebel will begin to whisper that the Emperor has forsaken us, and such doubts will only play into the rebels' hands. Oh, if we were heretical, we could probably do something very bad and get flagships and speed increased by 1. So each of these has a different thing that it'll give me, huh? So flagship gains 15% critical chance if I give it to the Bloodspun Web, which is kind of a good idea, I think. The Sacraments of Confessor, someone I can't pronounce, Tercius, have blessed the crew with a vision of how they might rain unrelenting death upon the enemy vessels and seek out vulnerabilities in the heat of battle. A loyal crew member will give me blessed shields and not my style. And righteous fervor, torpedoes gain +2 movement points. Attack and attack craft if I ever get those. Or which is half the time kind of what I need, if I'm being totally honest. Yeah, let's appoint Arabella. The creed must be strictly observed and aboard the vessel. Since the voicemen are wavering in their faith, let the High Fractorum find a true servant of the Exarchy elsewhere. As you command. I will order the chapel to be restored as well. I didn't know that that's what the little arrow thing meant, is like, we get something if we do that. So that's kind of fun. I will send agents to every deck the next time Nemisite rears his head, which I'm certain will happen sooner than later, which probably in 1 or 2 void jumps. We'll be 1 step ahead of them, and not the other way around. Alright, let's loot the place. So back staggers away, and your gaze turns to the motionless Kibellah, staring at her own reflection within a pool of blood. Is something wrong? I'm thinking about Nemisite, my adversary. The more I learn about him, the more I see a vague reflection of myself, a twisted reflection perhaps, but all too familiar. Like me, he was forced to tread a path of servitude from an early age, stripped of anything that might stand in the way of duty, a champion and a zealot, left with nothing but an idea, forged and tempered by his mentor. Well, you are alike, but it's up to you to prove that before the God Emperor, that the gaze of the tenants are stronger than whatever he believes in. And, you're your own person as well. Yes, Dolman, your words echo through my soul. We're in accord. Nemisite will fall, for his ways are dark and I've led him astray. Okay. Ooh, that's just a fresh injury. We'll get that cleared once we go back. So we have an enemy finder here. If the wearer's range attack fails, a toughness resistance test. Huh? The target of the wearer's range attack fails a toughness resistance test with a minus 10% penalty. That attack inflicts exhaustion. That could be interesting. There's a rebel sniper rifle, which I already have equipped. Heavy leather armor, which I don't care about. Fiery retribution, that's the flamer that he used, and that is better than the flamer that I currently have, that I literally just got. This is 12 to 18 and has bold flames. This has like a much better spray. So 5 range, and this has a range of 3. And has much better whatever, and a strength of 50 to use it, where this doesn't have a strength attached to it. So, I mean, if I wanted to use Fiery Retribution, it's a heavy weapon, that's kind of why, maybe. I mean, this has a lot of use. Maybe we put it on RG, see how that works. I see some fun uses. The guys over here, there's a fire grenade, there's a manufactured sword. That sword is not good at all. Thunder hammer isn't very good either. I'm guessing this is a... Oh, I was going to say the faux hammer, but once again, not really going to use it. Great sword ain't good either.
Let's seize the opportunity.
Yeah, nothing on these guys I'm going to use. That flamer might be handy. Not sure what offering a prayer is going to do, but we can do it. You recite a prayer. The one you remember best. While we're here. Alright, RG. We're gonna get rid of the normal bolter here in favor of the flamer. That way, if there's a ton of enemies around us, we can turn to this thing, just burn everyone. Kibellah, I'm very concerned at what happened. Why did the serrated greatsword get unequipped for the knife? And then the knives can also just go to cargo. And then I'm assuming we'll hear back sooner than later about Nemisite. But we're going to have to void travel a little bit. So, back towards getting to Kavia. I keep saying this. And we're going to keep heading towards it, but there's so many, like, little things that keep happening and turning into big things. Like, this is a very big overarching quest, and I'm assuming this is the DLC quest that got added with Kibellah. But I don't know. But we'll pick up from here, heading towards Kavia, expecting something to happen in regards to Nemisite along the way. And go from there. So that'll be it for this time. Like, comment, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And otherwise, as always, I wish you all well. I will see you next time. And please, have a good one.